Here's how I capture my ideas. A lot of times I'm just driving around, and when an idea hits, or maybe I'm listening to a podcast, or perhaps I'm at the gym, and a new idea hits, right? So what I do is I actually jot it down on my phone. So I'll show you how I jot it down on my phone. This might take a few seconds. Let's see here. Let's see if I can put on my screen recording here. Screen recording is up. All right, and I'm gonna scroll through it so you can see some of my ideas here. Today, okay, here, let's see some of these ideas here. Here, let's scroll down some more. Okay. Now, this is an idea I had when I was shooting another video, because as I was shooting it, it's like I realized there was another topic that I wanted to speak more about, and it was actually content begetting more content. And here's the line I read. You will find that when you're making content, more ideas pop up, and that's true. Which leads to more ideas, but ultimately less time to shoot. So I kind of wanted to wrap a couple of ideas here together. Like the more you shoot content, the more ideas pop up. And in addition to that, this leads to more video ideas with less time to shoot, which is true. I mean, what I've found is setting up camera and shooting is kind of a hassle to actually do the whole 9 yards. I'm actually shooting myself speaking, and it's a lot easier when you don't have to do all that stuff. But then I also, wanted to wrap it into like into one of my offer, and how much I offer in terms of videos and things like that. So, I mean, there's a structure there, but ultimately it's kind of like sometimes I actually forget the inspiration behind of it. So I do jot down a lot of ideas, and I let the ones that I'm more passionate about over time drift to the top, or content that have reoccurring value. Sometimes I might be too passionate about something, and then when I'm reading my text, I realize that I kind of like have to try to recapture my inspiration. Like, what was my inspiration? Like, why did I want to talk about that? And it becomes difficult in a text format. My wife gave me an idea, and she said, why don't you just record it on your phone? So in the past, when I've recorded myself talking, I kind of go on this rant, and then I don't want to listen to myself on the rant. So I've kind of had to find a way to make things very succinct and make it happen. It's time to do another screen recording and take a look at one of my voice recording and see how intense it can get. Are you ready? Let's find out here. What is the truth, huh?
My story, my vision is going to be told over and over again, and it's going to be in the form of these videos. Now, I'm going to control the method of which it's being told. I'm going to control the type of information, but in a way, I'm also digging. I'm trying to find the truth. I'm trying to find the simplest truth to explain, because that's the power of video, and that's the power of communication. It's like, how do I find the simplest way to speak the truth that I know in my heart is.
Okay, it's starting to get too passionate at that point. But it's kind of like the seed of an idea, but not quite clear yet, right? Let's see if there's more to that.
The real truth. How do I do that? It's actually pretty darn tough to simplify truth. They say simplicity is distilled power. And Ving Yang, one of my favorite quotes by Ving Yang is truth. Simplicity is distilled power, and
that's a quote that I really like, and I kind of wanted to really weave that quote into what I was saying. I mean, that's what sales is. Sales is simplifying your offer, and it's not something I've thought about too much, but it is simplifying the offer, but without losing the core, right? How do you keep your truth and still simplify, right? So that's really what I wanted to talk about.
But how do you get to the truth, and how do you speak the truth? You do it over and over again, number one, and you find the best way to communicate that, which is one human being to another. Now, I don't have access to you, and I'm not really...
So I definitely wanted to weave what I do believe is true is the most effective way of communicating is perhaps one person speaking to another. And now I'm not a great speaker, and I've realized that, But I've certainly, that's more of my personal story on how I want to get better in communicating. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing these videos is to not, is to, well, see first and foremost is to test the theory that I have, which I'll go into another time. Ultimately, what I want to do is actually see if I can get better and faster at communicating clearly, just so I can be a better director. As good as I've become with directing from behind the camera, only when you're truly stepping in front of the lens and you're vulnerable and you don't know exactly what it is you're going to say, only then can you appreciate it at another level. And so in a way, that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to appreciate it even further. And it's part of my craftsmanship. Being a good speaker is one thing, but conveying passion and and being able to elevate your performance, that's another thing. And that's really what I want to be offering with my service, is how do you develop that trust to the degree that you can elevate, and not just to be perfect, but to be powerful. And yes, I know a lot of influencers, most of the best influencers, they've figured it out on their own how to develop that skill. But if you don't have that skill, how do you elevate quickly? How do you elevate your language quickly? I'm very interested in that idea and that notion. And that's why I do a lot of what I do here. As you can see from that, the passion is there and the intention is there in the voice. And that's the goal. That's the goal you're looking for when you're recording it in a more professional environment like what I'm in here right now. You want to present yourself well and you want to present your company well. And so it is important, and the videos that I've recorded in this format are my strongest videos. I don't know if it's whether it is the content or it's definitely not the lighting. It's just this is what I want to project, and I want my videos to be shown. 5 years from now, I want my videos to have value down the road. So I've increased the production value of them, and that's what I do. So everything I do, I just try to put a little spin on it. I try to put a little spin on it just so that it feels fresh to me. Once you get that raw energy, then you can start to shape it. So from the voice, I can go create those bulleted points. And what I found is that you can actually use ChatGPT to interpret the goals of these very rough notes, these bullet points, and ChatGPT can give you suggestions on how to elevate it. That is a game changer beyond anything else I have ever seen, because it's not changing my voice, it's internalizing my voice and it's making subtle tweaks so that when I see it, it's not alien to me. There's a way to do that, and I'm certainly going to include that as part of my rehearsal process in my method where I work with execs and CEOs to help elevate their performances. I would love to dig deeper into that process. It is part of my framework, part of my N7 method, where you build content that is powerful and represents the truest version of you. And if you're interested in hearing more, please DM me. What I'll do is I'll send you a link so you can see more of my method. And if you're curious about this approach that I'm speaking of right now, certainly mention it as we move on in our discussion, because it's not something I offer everyone. It's kind of a complex offer. And if you're a good speaker or a great speaker and you need to get things done as quickly as possible, this isn't for you. But if you're looking to elevate your performance and find a place to be comfortable with your language and be persuasive on top of that, but not just be persuasive, but be engaging. If that's your goal, certainly we can chat about that.